Hi everybody, I'm Blue, and today I want to talk about a game so epic and amazing that not only did I 100% the main game, I turned around and 100% the DLC. That's right, this game is so good and so amazing that I, who have only ever 100%ed one game before in my life, chose to 100% the game and the DLC. And you know what? It was fun the entire time! So yes, today I want to talk about Lil Gator game. And full disclosure, I leaned really heavy on a screenshot for making the background. I was just so intimidated that I couldn't get this done in time, and I really wanted to talk about this game. So I apologize, I know tracing is a bit of a deal nowadays, but I promise you I didn't lean on it once we started coloring it in and filling it in. But anyways, on to the game. In Lil Gator game, you play as the absolute cutest, most wibbly-wobbly Lil Gator in his quest to create a game so amazing and so epic, his big sister, who's back from college for fall break, will have no choice but to play with him, just like she used to. But in order to do this, you will need the help of your friends, both the ones that you already have and the ones that you've yet to make. With all your creativity combined, you can create a game that will most certainly impress Big Sis. Along the way, you will fight a multitude of enemies, made of cardboard and painted by hand by all of these children around the island who are enthusiastic about helping in your game. You will scale mountains the size of which no kid could possibly fathom, and turn seemingly mundane items into weapons for the hero to wield in his quest. All of this comes together to form a game that not only gives you the warm fuzzies of childhood, but also faces the harshness of growing up and why those childhood memories are so important to us and how they fundamentally change our future. In this game, you aren't saving an abandoned world forsaken by its creators. You aren't solving the puzzles of the universe and hoping that somehow you can pull these strands together in a way that can help people. You're not reaching your hand out to desperate souls and pulling them up from the depths. You are a child who just wants to play a game. And there is something so delightful in how selfish that is, especially because the game does call it out. You want to be the hero, you want to be the good guy, you want to be the one who saves the day, but you are just a kid, and you don't really understand what that means just yet. And how you choose to save the day isn't necessarily as important as the journey to get there. And I don't know if I've ever played a game that covers that as well as this one. As you go throughout the game, you'll pick up seemingly mundane items with fun and unique descriptions to them, but at the end of the day, you are just swinging a paintbrush around and pretending it's a sword. And it was fascinating to me that even in a game where these items don't particularly affect much, it's not like, oh, you get the master sword and this is the one that does all the damage. No, I chose to use the paintbrush for most of the game because I liked the little splatters that it made everywhere. I chose to use the skateboard because the sound it made was a lot of fun, and I wore the princess crown because I knew little kid me wouldn't have ever picked it, despite the fact that they really liked it. And for someone like me, who is up there in years and is in internet years dead, I find it so well done and endearing how this game handles childlike wonder. The dialogue is very well written. Lots of arguments are resolved with two characters just going, okay, and then being friends afterwards. It's not a game about complexity or depth. It is a game about childhood, about experiencing wonder, about climbing that tree just because it's really tall and you think you can do it. About learning how to swim as fast as you can just because it's something to do that day. The joy of experiencing things. And this game handles it so well. There were so many situations where I would find myself staring at something and realize that I was allowed to explore it, not to advance some quest or complete some goal, but just because I wanted to. And eventually the game says, hey, why are we using stamina bars? Just have fun. And you do. Getting around in this game is an absolute delight. After I beat this game and its DLC, I saw a speed run where people were using the bubblegum, which normally just lifts you straight up, as a double jump. And I was like, that's so cool, that's so fun, and immediately booted the game up to do it myself. Because the game just encourages play. Make your own fun, go your own path, solve these children's problems in whatever order you want. But it's never overwhelming, and it's always rewarding at the end of a little quest line to go back to your town and have a new friend hanging out, all of which are still also in the same location that you recruited them in as a special little memory. Every time I pass them, I'm like, oh yeah, Esme, I absolutely loved your quest to prove that vampires belong in fantasy too. And everything about her just reminded me so much of my friend Chess that I couldn't help but smile every time I saw her. And then in the playground, she's down in a shadowy area playing a pipe organ like she's the Phantom of the Opera. It's great. And this game is filled with little moments like that, moments where you get to make these new friends, and even though these characters aren't the deepest, you still feel connected to them. And so, in a world where games are supposed to push you to try harder and harder, to learn every single control to the best of your ability, to time obstacles that you'd never be able to beat, or even to just get good, this game took a step back and it said, do you remember when games used to be fun? When you used to go on adventures with a little stick where you used to challenge yourself to swing over the top of the swing set? Do you remember when things were simple? This game does not have characters so deep and complex that they feel realistic. It doesn't have world building so dense you feel like you'll never be able to truly fathom the depths of the world. It genuinely doesn't have anything that I would normally associate with what makes a good story, what makes a great game, and yet, at the ending of the main story, I found myself in tears. This game has so much heart and so much sincerity, and it challenges you to look at those times when things were simpler and not say that's just nostalgic, but to give you a moment in your busy day where everything is so overwhelming and grant you the opportunity to just play in the backyard with a stick and paint an entire adventure in whatever color you want to. And that's an experience I don't know if I have ever had before. And I am so grateful to this game for giving it to me. Maybe we can take a few more opportunities to look at that tree in our backyard and say, I bet I can climb that. Or even just take a moment and walk on the edge of the curb, balancing as if you're on train tracks. Play and imagination are useful to us no matter what age we are, and I am very grateful to this game for reminding me that at a time in my life where I'm feeling particularly lost. So if you're like me and you need that kind of a reminder in your life, I highly recommend Lil Gator Game by Platonic Friends as just a temporary means of escape and a reminder to always take time for play. And I think that's what I'm going to do now. So until next time, later!